You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
We've got Nigerians flying in, vomiting to death on board aircraft. The controlled corporate media instantly announces, there's nothing to see here, move along, as the CDC secretly tells New York City to get ready for Ebola outbreaks. Just about 15 minutes ago, News Radio 590 AM, one of our local affiliates, did report, and the story's going to go up on Infowars.com in a few minutes. We're calling the health department, that someone has been quarantined in Travis County, where the city of Austin, Texas resides or is based. There it is on screen. Austin officials monitoring Travis County resident that was on flight 1143 with one of the Ebola victims. And now they're monitoring a top epidemiologist in Dallas who worked with the Ebola victims who may have Ebola. Meanwhile, look at this headline out of the Associated Press. We've been telling you this for a few weeks. Africa stems Ebola via border closings, not allowing aircraft in, and, quote, luck. South American countries, Caribbean countries, Asian countries, Middle Eastern countries, European countries have all been sealing their borders in the last 2 months, but not the United States, because there's a war on common sense, and they've got to let it start spreading first. America is now a giant toilet, and Ebola is squatting over it, spraying out the virus with enjoyment. And this is all part of the total disdain. In fact, there's even an article out today out of The Guardian, also the Wall Street Journal. Who do they think they are? The administration's Ebola evasions reveals its disdain for the American people. Yes, it's all about disdain and a war on reality, a war on common sense. I want to explain something. They don't have one, they don't have two. They have 3 articles in the White House-run Media Matters this week. And they have everything from the Washington Post to CBS News again this week. So many hit pieces, I don't even keep track of them. Basically saying, I'm a fearmonger, I'm evil, I'm bad, when all I'm doing is pointing out default common sense. Remember 2 months ago? I keep harping on this because it shows their complicity. This could only happen here because the dinosaur media says everyone's crazy or, quote, deranged right-wing conspiracy theory. Obama intentionally wants to infect the nation with Ebola, Alex Jones says. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Because when you leave the flights open and you bring Ebola patients here and then you don't quarantine people immediately, you want it to get out of hand so you can then have a big power grab. And they've had governors and senators and even the Speaker of the House say shut down the flights, and it hasn't happened. Because you could never send the message that, like Michael Savage said last week when he was on, that having a border might do something good. So that's what's happening. And in this bizarro world, I wasn't being sarcastic a few weeks ago. I said, you watch. When this spreads everywhere, I will get the blame. And now it's happening. Imagine how they've overturned reality, how they've inverted common sense. It's satanic. That's really all satanic means, is upside down. Doesn't make sense, isn't productive, isn't wholesome, isn't prosperous, isn't honorable, isn't fun. The media and the culture sells, evil like it's fun. No, it's not fun. Not real evil. The churches harp all day about, sex or the wrong kind of music or something like that, while meanwhile they, endorse killing 1 million Iraqis, aborting 50 million babies, NSA spying, government shooting little kids up with vaccines, brain damaging them en masse. But they can sit up there like Pharisees and say, look at that woman in a short skirt. She's evil. We'll be right back. Stay with us. The experts are clear. Sunlight, purified water, healthy non-GMO food, and having a good attitude is essential to a healthy immune system. But I go further with Super Nascent Iodine X2 from InfoWarsLife.com. 50% stronger than our original and revolutionary Nascent Iodine formula, coming from a deep earth crystal source that no other supplier has. Most other forms of iodine come from seaweed in areas plagued by Fukushima and other contaminants. Not our iodine. It comes from over 200 million-year-old crystal salt deposits and is tested and proven to be completely pure. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today. See the informational videos. Read the information they're compiled. And for a limited time, when you use promo code NOW at checkout, you get an additional 5% off the entire family of InfoWarsLife.com products. Secure your Survival Shield X2 today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. When cells become toxic, they die early and aging sets in. No one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. Just one of the key compounds, BioPQQ, is backed by major clinical studies. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? We now have the synergistic solution. Secure your DNA Force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put two and two together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds, is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled I-N-F-I-D-E-L, bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
Using unparalleled research in the development of a synergistic formulation based around the key concepts of super oxygenation, the next level in cleansing is here. With key ingredients backed by real clinical studies, the new Oxy Powder, available through InfoWars Life, was invented during Dr. Group's research on the toxification of our bodies. Many herbal colon cleansers are harsh on the body and contain cheap and potentially dangerous ingredients, oftentimes full of synthetic fillers, GMOs, additives, or worse. Gently start cleaning your body with easy capsules that start working while you sleep. Oxy Powder does not require time off work, and there's no need for bad-tasting concoctions. Instead, Oxy Powder slowly releases monoatomic oxygen into the intestinal tract and body. Experience the astonishing cleansing power of superoxide and ozonide technology. Go to InfoWarsLife.com or InfoWarsStore.com to get started with Oxy Powder, or call 1-888-253-3139.
We want your soul. We want your soul. We want your soul.
Defending the Republic from enemies, foreign and domestic. It's Alex Jones.
We are transmitting from Austin, Texas, close to the epicenter of the North American Ebola outbreak worldwide on this Friday, the 17th day of October, 2014 edition. And this upcoming Halloween may have some ghoulish horror characters that aren't fiction, ladies and gentlemen. If the allowed spread of Ebola continues in the United States, and if the West African flights continue with over 150 people a day pouring in with visas issued to them out of countries that are literally collapsing. In fact, the news is so important today that I have canceled some of the guests, cleared the decks for 3 hours on this Friday edition. We're going to have reporters Anthony Gucciardi and Paul Joseph Watson, who's extended his stay from London here in the United States, are going to be in Dallas reporting. We now have breaking from News Radio 590 AM. We'll link this up on Infowars.com. UT student being monitored for Ebola virus, and someone else who was on the flight with the nurse who had it is now being quarantined in Austin, Texas. So we'll integrate both those articles together and post them up on prisonplanet.com and Infowars.com. I did some of the math this morning with the different aircraft flights and how many people are in the hospital and what we know. Probably about 1,000 people came in close contact with one of the 2 Ebola patients. Well, it's now the 3 Ebola patients, excuse me. The dead one and the 2 nurses. That's a conservative number, 1,000. Let's say 50 get it. Spread it for 21 days. Now that'll be 1,000 or so that have it. And then they spread it for 21 days, and it's tens of thousands. And at that point, Katie barred the door with our compromised immune systems from all the vaccines that lower your immune system on record, the winter, all the other super viruses and super bacteria and MRSA that's just ravaging everyone I know. Everyone I know has family members that were totally healthy who go in to have minor surgeries and are deader than a hammer a month later. So long before the Ebola outbreak, I said back in January when I had multiple family members die from flesh-eating bacteria in their lungs, basically. I don't want to go into details, but I was there at the hospital and witnessed what they were sucking out of their lungs. It was lung tissue. Get ready, because my gut, but also intellectually looking at the news every day, whoo, this is going to be one hell of a winter. And if you think going out and getting the flu shot is going to protect you, I got a bridge I'm ready to sell you right now on Pluto. Now, here's the AP, not Alex Jones. And I only say this because 2 months ago, CBS News, The Washington Post, Geraldo Rivera, Fox News, you name it, they did it. Came out and attacked Infowars.com, Alex Jones by name, Matt Drudge by name, DrudgeReport.com. Because we dare link to the CDC's own papers from 2 years ago saying it may be going airborne. We dared link to epidemiologists and articles in Europe saying they believed it would come here in mass if we didn't shut the borders and shut down flights. And their answer was we were racist pieces of garbage. Do we get any apologies? No, we don't. And it's not about me being right. I didn't want to have Ebola here. I have 3 children. Okay? That's why I was concerned. If you've got the biggest outbreak ever spreading all over Africa, the UN says between 400 to 1.4 to 5 million people will get it or die. The computer models show that whole spectrum. They're going to want to come here. Everybody else won't let them come here. It's not hard to figure out what's going to happen. And I just want to point out, there's a new meme going, and John Bound pointed this out earlier, that people are calling for Obama's arrest, the CDC's arrest. And so you guys aren't going to get away with it this time, creating a crisis, exacerbating it. Now, Joe Biggs filed this report yesterday with Josh Owens. They went out to UT, talked to 30 people, 17 of them wanted to bring Ebola patients here from Africa, and they want to house them in their house. The video, the article is up on Infowars.com. Students signed petition to bring Ebola into U.S. Students also agree to host Ebola patients entering the U.S. Paul Watson's article, liberals signed petition to bring Ebola patients into the U.S. and house them. Students show enthusiastic support for the Ebola Equality Act of 2014. Here is the devastating report with Joe Biggs and Josh Owens.
I'm Joe Biggs with Infowars.com at the University of Texas, Austin. Now, came out here to the campus today. I wanted to ask people if they would sign my Ebola Equality Act of 2014. Now, what this states is that we are going to allow symptomatic, non-symptomatic Ebola patients to come in from West Africa into our country and then give them the free reign to move around and do whatever they want. We leave our borders wide open. We let everybody come in and get taken care of. You know, we don't like to take care of the veterans or anything like that. That's just ridiculous. But let's bring these Ebola patients in, and you know, there's not going to be an outbreak because Obama says there's not, or Ebola, and then the CDC director says there's zero chance that this is going to get out of control. So you know what? Let's see how many people actually agree with these puppets, with these global elitists who actually think that nothing's going to happen. Let's see how many people are, I don't want to say dumb, but willing to actually sign this and allow Ebola to come into our country. Let's go check it out. Well, this is the Ebola Equality Act. What it's going to do is allow us to fly in patients with Ebola. So what this does is we're going to allow them just to get on the plane, symptomatic